Hello and welcome to episode 338 of the Should I Play This Game podcast for the 25th of May. It's been a couple of weeks. How have you been going since then, Steve?
I'm less sick.
That's a good thing.
Yep. Sick boy got sick again. We didn't end up, I didn't stream last week. We didn't do any recording last week because you might remember, Graham, that I have had a lingering cough bothering me for the last 6+ weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Ended up going to the doctors for different reasons. And I'm like, oh yeah, there's this fucking cough hanging around. I think it might be a bit of lingering bronchitis. And she basically laughed at me and told me to fuck off, that it wasn't bronchitis. I'm like, that's a bit mean. But she was like, it's probably a cough from a lingering cough from an infection. I'm like, okay, if you say I had an infection, hey, go for your life. But I don't know. Gave me antibiotics, and literally within like 3 or 4 hours of dropping the first antibiotic, the floodgates opened. Like, I started feeling sore throat coming on and all that sort of deal. And then by the time I woke up on Friday morning, I was very achy. And it was not pleasant. And then on the Saturday, I had to go to the toilet a bunch. And that was not pleasant either. I could paint a browner picture for you if you'd like, but...
appreciate it, but no.
Paint the town brown! That's fucking what was going on here. Like, God damn it. That wasn't pleasant. But yeah, like, there's a couple of little lingering, like, congestions. And, but the cough is largely fucked off, which is nice.
Mm-hmm.
I probably sound worse than I actually feel.
Yeah, it sound too bad.
Yeah. There's a little bit of congestion-y type, blocky, nosy type sound. But otherwise, yeah, feels alright.
Mm-hmm.
Streamed on Saturday, streamed on Friday. That seemed to go all right. And then, hung out. Played video games.
Speaking of...
I know, right? Boom! Man, can't fucking get one past the keeper on us. So Resident Evil Requiem. The playtime there, 31.1 hours overall. Just continuing on from when we talked about it last time on the last episode of the podcast. I really enjoyed it. Overall.
Mm-hmm.
I will say, regenerating zombies, particularly those that regenerate into much stronger forms, poop. It does play really nicely, though, into a bit of a risk-reward situation with the inventory management. This is largely as Grace. With Leon, it's less of a problem, because with Leon, you can just shoot the fuck out of him, and it's fine. But there is an item you can craft as Grace. I think it's called like a hemolytic injector. And when a zombie is dead or you sneak up on it, you inject them, and it's like the blue serum in Blade, where they just go, so that's pretty neat. The blister heads that they evolve into, though, particularly as Grace, are fucked. They take multiple magazines of Grace's little pea shooter pistol. So yeah, that's less pleasant. It does present, that's the word I was looking for, the sort of, for lack of a better term, budgetary concerns that survival horror can bring in, the inventory management, what you do with your resources, all that sort of stuff. But yeah, like I said, Leon can just blow their fucking head off, and realistically, there's no coming back from that. It doesn't do the Resident Evil 4 thing where if you blow a zombie's head off, it like spouts weird whip type appendages out of its shoulders and things of that nature, which is nice. I finished it 3 times in the space of that 30 hours. So I finished it once on the modern standard difficulty. That took about 14 hours because I was really doing the exploration and watching all the cutscenes. I finished it a second time on the easiest difficulty in about 6.5 hours. So I skipped all the cutscenes, and I was going out of my way not to use any medical items for the purposes of unlocking unlimited ammo.
No, okay.
And then I completed Insanity which is the highest difficulty level, with said unlimited ammo. Wait, did I just say unlimited ammo multiple times? Probably. Thinking still hard. The best part of the unlimited ammo, like the damage you get dealt is fucking fucked. Like, obviously so, it's the hardest difficulty. But you get what's called the Requiem, which is a big, massive magnum that Leon first has, and he gives it to Grace when they first get separated. It is a goddamn hand cannon. And with unlimited arrow, you are just literally just exploding zombie heads. So that was really fun. Outside of a couple of sequences where it's like, what the fuck? And just die on contact. There's a couple of sequences on the initial playthrough do a really good job of fleshing out, for lack of a better term, lore and some story elements. But Jesus Christ, on second and third playthroughs. Is this the
game where you play as both characters alternative?
Yes.
Or like one storyline there, then the other storyline? Or is it back and
alternate between the two
back and throughout the whole story is both players? Okay, cool. I thought it was one of those.
I don't know if I made that up. Yeah, so Resident Evil, as a bit of a context setter, Resident Evil 2, you could play as either rookie cop Leon S. Kennedy, who is, like I said last time, no longer a rookie cop here, or not Chris Redfield, Claire something, I think.
Oh, it was Claire. Okay, might have been Claire. Okay.
So Grace is this one. All right, let me.
Don't worry about it. I haven't got a lot of time still.
Yes, let's not worry. But yeah, a couple of sequences got in the way because they were really slow moving sort of mood points.
Okay.
But when you're doing subsequent playthroughs and just skipping narrative elements just because you've seen it all, it's like, come on, man, let's fucking go. There is one really silly sequence, like just Fast and Furious silly.
Okay.
That is really amusing. It involves Leon and a motorcycle. I'm not going to say any more than that. I think it does a really good job of setting up a difference in feel and in vibe between Grace and Leon's sections. You do end up having to play them, well, maybe less so in Insanity within the unlimited ammo for the Requiem, but you end up playing both very differently.
Yeah.
Because Leon, you just shoot your way through. That's no dramas. But Grace doesn't have the weaponry for that. It does look fucking great. I mean, those watching the video version can see the screenshots here. It's the RE engine. Capcom has been on a fucking roll in a multitude of ways, but the quality of their graphical refinements have continued to develop, which is great. It does get a little samey in some area, like some environmental design elements, and it's fucking dark in some spots. Like you need light, and even then, that doesn't help. It did have some really interesting writing that helped propel the campaign forward. There's some less good lines, but I think they were deliberately not good to give it that cheese, because Resident Evil is all about cheesy, stupid horror shit. And it provided some really engaging exploration and combat. That's one of the biggest things for me about these games, is that the combat and the exploration is interesting and engaging and fun, and it really was. And it did allow for some really spectacular set pieces and sequences that were just, whoa, this is fucked. They added what's called Leon Must Die Forever mode, which is basically an arcade mode where you have Leon's different sequences. It sets up different pathways like it's a quote-unquote arcade game, and you get a time limit as far as, hey, go finish these sections as fast as possible to get through to the end. But you don't have that ability to explore as much. And like an arcade game, if you get shit weapons, you're fucked. So that was less interesting, but it doesn't really, that Leon Must Die Forever mode didn't really do a lot for me, because it still maintains some of that, like the heft and the combat feel. But when you are sort of regimented into a very set path and a very set loadout, that's not what those games are for me. So I gave it a couple of goes. I'm like, yeah, this is neat, but moving on. Speaking of another game I might be in the vibe of moving on, Mugenics. I've said this a couple times already, that like you can see the number of fucking achievements there are. And in just shy of 20 hours, I have less than 10% of them. much like roguish games, not even of the sort of XCOM style tactics variety, but just roguish games in general, the repetition gets in the way.
Mm.
And while this is written very well in a lot of senses, trying to make the progress from go to woe, particularly for pathways you haven't explored or gone further down yet to unlock more and stuff like that, I kind of just, it's very good, but I wanted to play other stuff at the expense of this, and I haven't really felt that tremendous draw back into it, which sort of seems par for the course by games that Ed McMillan is involved in. Super Meat Boy is a fantastic thing that I greatly respect, but is also tremendously fucked. The End is Nigh and Binding of Isaac, kind of similar. People are nuts for Binding of Isaac. It's weird. And it's sort of the same thing here. Like, it's not that it's bad. It's just there's other things I want to play, and this isn't really doing as much to grab me. Although I have seen the quote unquote end of the quote unquote first level or first set of levels so much that I borderline have the song memorized to the point where I walk around the house singing, "He's about to kitty, about to kitty." Because that amuses me. But anyway, a game that I have played largely at the expense of Mugenics is Solitaria. This is a search action Souls adjacent game. It's got a really nice sort of low detail painted art style. It has a lot actually artistically in similarity or in common with Ori, I think.
Yeah,
in the painted style.
I can see that.
Yeah. It's more Soulsy than Ori ever was. As evidenced by the big ass boss life bar at the bottom of the screen. It also has a very similar musical style with that sort of string-driven classical style emotive music going on. And it's got some weird sort of jibber-jabber sounds for dialogue. The longer I played it, the more I thought it might be like French, because there's some pronunciations and some words that come through that does sound very French adjacent, but I think the developers are Korean. So I don't know. When the characters talk, the amount of like sound they make doesn't match up with the amount of words that are on the screen. So that really confuses me as well. So you are this little guy. His name is Tot. I think that's a fantastic name. A lot of people crack wise about how short he is and says he needs to grow to get stronger, which is like by the end of the game, you're like, yeah, fuck you. But he's a little fire warrior. Helpfully enough for the game's expositional desires, you don't remember shit when you wake up. Now, that obviously gets revealed as you go through. You're trying to find the missing king. The king has gone wandering, trying to find a solution for this corruption-like plague that's overcome the lands of Solitaria, hence what the name of the game. The Steam page, so saith, Solitaria is the land of the sun that once prospered under the primordial flame's blessing. He's the king now that went missing. Wait, did I? I can't remember if I added that last part. The combat is way more parry-centric and parry-focused than like a Hollow Knight. You do have a normal attack and you need to use it, but the amount of damage that comes off of counters through successful parries, it's way more intended to be played that way. The parry window is, for the most part, relatively generous for the level of difficulty. I'm not going to sit here and tell you it's fucking easy. But if you're paying attention and watching what the enemies are doing in their animation, you can tell when the attacks are to be parried. A couple of bosses do fuck with that. Like, they'll hold back and pull back really hard before swinging through. But I think playing the demo put me on the game's wavelength for the timing on the parry as well, which kind of helped. But I will say, like I said, some bosses are fucked towards the end, as would be expected for this kind of game. The exploration and movement feels pretty good. Once you get all of the ability suite, though, some of the traversal or the uncovering of secrets isn't isn't as sort of straightforward as it appears at first. Like sometimes it appears like you'll get a triple jump or something that increases the height. It's more about length of jump and going a more circuitous route to get to that secret. Which kind of sort of go, yeah, I want to get that. How the fuck do I get? Oh, and then you eventually just trip your way into it, which is kind of fucking fucked. It does. I think it's a great one of these. It's one of the better ones of these I've actually played recently. There's only 3 reviews for it on OpenCritic, which like surprises me how small the audience is. But I mean, it is what it is as well. There are some frustrating map elements. I was stuck trying to find a switch for a gate, which I didn't have enough of a height to my jump to actually get to, but the part on the map where the switch was already revealed, but it didn't tell me the switch was up there. So I'm like, where the fuck is it? So I looked it up and I'm like, oh, you dickhead, it's up there. And then I realized I could just double jump up there, which I couldn't have done before. And because I didn't pin the switch and the game doesn't actually reveal that there's a switch there, it could have been a situation where I'm walking around for fucking ages. I ended up revealing most of the map and getting a decent amount of the secrets and completion. Just over 19 hours, 89% complete. So outside of a bit of map or exploration foibles I have with it, I really enjoyed it. I think it's a fucking fantastic one of these, and it's one that I think should be exposed to way more people. Particularly if you like that Souls adjacent style of search action, like a Hollow Knight type thing. Meow. Good timing on the meow. Because Forza Horizon 6 came out. I pre-ordered this ages ago, so I had access to the early access launch that I didn't really use at all. I think I played it for about maybe 3 hours maximum in that quote-unquote early launch window. Weirdly enough, the treasure map wasn't included in the deluxe edition. It wasn't included in any of the editions of the PlayStation 5 version of 5 either. So I bought that because I'm a fucking idiot. And I really like at a point just being able to go hit the button and have everything revealed as to where those fucking boards and shit are. But because that's... So particularly sometimes with the barn finds and stuff, the game auto-detected me to extreme. But I had all the ray tracing shit turned pretty high up. On the benchmark, I got 109 frames a second. I clicked some of that down and got 140. So the ray tracing is not particularly well balanced. As you would have discovered, because you have also played some of this. It does it's pretty typical Horizon sequence of flipping between different cars on the way to the festival. Did you know what a GR GT was before this? Before this,
I don't know a lot of the cars, to be honest, because there's so many in there.
So I discovered by looking it up, GR is a quote unquote racing, for lack of a better term, label that Toyota's using.
Oh, okay.
And they've actually got 3 GR cars in Australia: the 86, a Corolla, and something else, which is really weird. The character creator is not great. It does have a bunch of It has a bunch of prosthetics and hearing aids though, which is cool. I tried to make my dude look like a bit of a fucking idiot because that's always funny to me. I wasn't paying full attention to the face, so I accidentally made him Asian with thick braided dreads. So that was pretty nice. I didn't notice this until it was pointed out by a critic, but the roads, particularly when you're free roaming, kind of feel a little empty.
That's normal.
Yeah, I've never noticed it until this one.
Really? They're always empty. They're always empty.
Yeah, but like obviously to do it proper, traffic would be way too fucking annoying.
Of course. Yeah, they're always empty. Yeah. That's what the game is. Like the fact.
I don't know why. I just never noticed it until someone mentioned it, and I started playing this. I'm like, oh yeah, he's right. This is fucking empty. Like, you get to the Shibuya crossing, and there's fucking
no one there. No one there. Because why would there be?
Of course not. It's not fucking Carmageddon.
Not Carmageddon, exactly. But, so, yeah, we're not being, obviously, I've been playing this as well, so, I've read a couple of reviews and saw a couple of reviews of this, and people are playing it. It's empty. Yeah, because you're driving through fucking streets of the city. If it had
I mean,
people in
it's
it, you'd
gonna
be
be fucking fun hitting 400.
yeah, Jesus, yeah. So, but that's what that series has always been. So it's not. That's
Yeah.
not. Yeah. So.
I think maybe the idea might have, for lack of a better term, the expectation or the belief or whatever might have been that as the systems that are running it get more powerful, you'd see more traffic and more people.
I mean, guess more
Um,
cars, more traffic,
yeah,
people on the street you're never going to see. That's just
no,
not going to
because
happen.
what's going to happen? You can't run them over,
You can't run
but
them over.
cows and birds run out of the way, so maybe people can too.
Yeah, but yeah. So I don't know. That's just it was one of the weird complaint I saw about this game. What?
Mm.
That seems a bit odd, but yeah.
Yeah, like I said, I'd never noticed it. It was weird. There was something I was like looking at the longer I play it, the more annoyed I'm getting with the radio stations because there's
I
some
pretty much
fucking
turned them. I pretty much turned them off.
yeah.
Yeah, the
There's some
music.
fucking great songs on the XS radio station. Like there's a Coed and Cambria song, which I'm always going to be there for. But like, there's also the possibility of room for including more Japanese music. Like there's plenty of Japanese metal bands that maybe could have been brought in, like Crossfaith, Cold Rain. Broken by the Scream would have been awesome, but like Kawaii Deathcore, maybe not. They do have 2 baby metal songs on that station.
Mm.
But like just some more Japanese music might have been neat. Please tell me you haven't managed to get a good horn drop yet, like one of the Doom ones or the Windows shutdown sound or anything. Because I'm going to be really mad if you did.
I've been getting horns. I'm not really paying much attention to what they are, so
Okay.
I couldn't tell you for sure which ones I've got.
There's 3 I really want, which is the E1M1 music from Doom, which I ended up getting fairly late in 5. The Windows XP shutdown or the Windows tada, where it goes meow, meow. Either one of those would be great. I think structurally it's a little bit more interesting because it doesn't just buff everything on the map straight away.
Yeah,
It doesn't treat you.
It's going back to the earlier version of
Yeah.
the series where you're going through wristbands and actually through an actual progression, which is
Yeah, you're more of a rookie this time around, so
Yeah.
it limits what you can actually access. Although outside of the races, you can still buy whatever cars you want and upgrade the fuck out of them till they're really, really fast. There's a drift car Lotus that's I think a downloadable car. Maybe it's part of the pre-order or the welcome pack or whatever. Fuck. Trying to actually get that thing to grip and go in a straight line from a start, particularly off-road, is fucked. But holy shit, there's a lot to do. Like between all the events and everything on the map and the different challenges and things like that you unlock as you play and progress. And I like the way they've differentiated the sort of Japanese street race and toge racing out to a different, I guess, bubble than the Horizon racing stuff as well. The photography shit still bugs me. I'm never going to get all those cars. And the Discover Japan photography is not particularly well into that unless you go digging through the menus and figure out what the fuck is this mural? Where the fuck is it? And then there's the treasure cars and barn finds.
I mean, they've got a lot of the same things they've had in the previous games. The new one, I think, there's mascots. I don't think they've had mascots before.
That replaced the fast travel money boards.
Oh yeah, okay, fair. But there's a lot of them. There's 200 of those. So.
200 of those, 200 XP boards. The 5,000 XP boards have been in some really fucked up spots.
Yeah, most of them are they're on roofs of cows. You've got to jump up. It's not jump, but you also got to make jumps to get.
That's a neat little puzzle.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of what they like. Like you've been playing for 12. I've been playing for. I think I'm only up 3.5, and I've been playing as long as you. But like the kind of puzzle aspect of the game is a bit of an odd one. You wouldn't think that would be part of it, but yeah, the puzzles are to get to some of those boards because they're in really odd places.
It's largely just go really fast and hit a specific jump.
Yeah, which
at an angle, but that's still fun.
It's still fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
But the other thing too, like the God, I have brain fuzz. What am I talking about? So yeah, we might as well do my.
The showcase and wristband events have been a lot better.
Yeah, I mean when I get to my section, I'm going to try and play a video of me playing that showcase, the first big showcase, which is fucking awesome. The first one you do. But yeah, like you've got shitloads of race types to do.
Mm.
You've got 671 roads to find, which that's one of the things I like to do with that game is just drive
Yep.
around every single road to find them all.
I've got
Um,
way more than you.
yeah, well, you've been playing it for 4 times longer, so
I sure have.
we should would expect that to be the case. Um, yeah, you got the 200 mascots, 200 boards, 10 treasure. I think they call them treasure cards. I think they call
Yep,
10.
treasure cars.
Might be more of that than 10, but there's 10. There's
No,
the
there's 10.
the barn finds is neat. Um, and they've also got this new. I think it's pretty sure it's new. Is like this sort of house building layout thing you can do.
Yeah, the estate.
This state where you can sort of build up the estate and do, I haven't really fiddled with that much yet, but I'm curious what that ultimately.
I've literally just put down a bunch of dinosaurs on the entrance and a wrestling ring. Because surprisingly enough, even an hour or two of playing in the early access, there were a fuck ton of paint jobs, tune setups, and customized estate items.
Mm.
And someone made a wrestling ring, and that made me really happy.
But apparently you can build your own racetrack at that in that thing. Like
Yep,
you can do a
sure
bunch
can.
of stuff. So yeah, like that's interesting. I don't know, whether ultimately that's going to be engaging, but it's definitely new. So that's something.
Yeah, there's a bunch of prefab race tracks to be laid down already in the browser for that thing as well. The last thing I'll say on it is it's basically the 6-1 of these. It's great. I'm going to play a lot of it. I think I hit like 300 hours in the last one, nearly. I am very curious how they stretch their legs on a 7th one and what they do with it should a 7th one come about. I mean, there surely is going to be a 7th one, isn't there?
I mean, the fact that every single time these games come out and they haven't really changed much in the 3 or 4 last of them, they've all been popular. So
this one hit like 6 million players, I think, already.
Yeah, what do they need to change?
Yeah.
So they've got a good thing.
It is very comfort food level of.
That's exactly what. That's
fucking
exactly
awesome.
That's what it is. Exactly. The only thing I would say is it is pretty expensive. I think it's very expensive.
Yeah.
The game. I know really you bought the silly over the top version, but
that all has the DLC and shit included too, and I always play the fuck out of that.
Yeah, but it's like $110 just the starting point for the lowest version. You're still out of.
Well, that's the other thinking about the new Lego Batman. That's also $110 on stock price, and the special edition of that was $140. So shit's getting expensive, yo. Like you can buy 8 indie games and get almost as much time out of some of them as you can for like one AAA game. I was going to say speaking of, but that doesn't really fit here. Mixtape. I played this on Sunday last week. I'm like, fuck it, I'm just going to churn through it. It was like just shy of just over 3 hours. The latest touchstone of review score controversy because people are fucking idiots and don't understand what reviews are meant to be. Bunch of people on the internet have been, this noise test, fucking dipshit, fucking idiots. Speaking of morons, I saw someone crapping on the Epic Online services was spyware and malware. I'm like, you fucking dick-headed fuckface. Moving on. It's the last day in hometown before leaving story. That coming of age style with a curated mixtape that the main character has made. The Spider-Verse style 24 frames of character animation sort of clashes because all the background movement is 60.
Okay.
So it's a weird clash almost. But it works. But particularly once you get your, for lack of a better term, eyes adjusted to it, it's fine. It is hell of stereotypically like California, bro. Like almost Bill and Ted like. Which is a little weird. The main character, Stacey Rockford, has a very 90s attitude about her. Like she gets grumpy at her dad when he's quite pleasant towards her. She speaks in a very verbose way in that, like, as an example, my hair care products are filth and malevolence. I was like, what 17-year-old speaks like that? And she does have a pretty elitist or superior attitude, like towards things like skateboarding. She doesn't like the narrower skateboard design. She doesn't feel they're original or whatever. And musical taste. So like mixtapes for events, or she hates a character because that character's kind of like music, So she hates her as a result. I didn't think she was particularly likable initially, but as the game progresses, you get a bit of an underscoring as to why she is the way she is and why she has that music obsession. That dulls that edge of the blade of her being not particularly likable, and she becomes a much better person or reveals herself to be a much better person as it progresses, which is nice. There's not a lot of actual gameplay.
Yeah, I think that's been the one thing I've heard about it. Is a lot of people saying it's just not a game. Bullshit.
It's a fucking game.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I'm not saying that. I'm saying
there is character movement and there are some minigame style interactions, but not. It's Telltale levels.
Yeah.
There's a minigame where two characters are kissing and you use both sticks to control the tongues. So that's something for you. Where am I? There I am. There's some elements of it that aren't quite error accurate. I'm sure you've heard about the rewinding of a cassette with a pencil.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what sort of fucking monster did that when you could just put the cassette in and press rewind?
Everybody did that, mate.
I mean, people did it if the tape came off the spool or whatever, but to rewind it, I always just put it in and press rewind.
Okay.
I'm not a monster. Well, not this kind of monster anyway. I think it's really well choreographed and really well sort of shot and executed in its presentational style. I think it's pretty well written. There are some parts that are a bit sort of groan-inducing, but that's what the 90s was to an extent. The music's used really well. The resonation of some of the songs, like it's got Silverchair's Freak, which I maintain is the only good Silverchair song. And it's got The Touch by Stan Bush, which that song's always going to be fucking incredible. And she makes mention of the fact it's from the Transformers animated movie. Other than that, though, it didn't hit the 90s nostalgia for me as much because the late 90s for me, graduating high school, was all about Tupac and Korn. So the music that was in there wasn't quite as, I guess, affecting for me. I think it's very good. I wouldn't give it a 9 or a 10 like others have given it. I would sit sort of in the 8 range. But it's still a very good like storytelling experience. It's not the most intense gameplay thing, but it's pretty neat. Replaced. I started this. I don't know if I'm actually... Well, I've already uninstalled it, so I don't know if I'm going to go back to it part doesn't actually work. I think it's fucking beautiful. I think the aesthetic is gorgeous, and it has a hell of a style to it. Although, why the fuck can't 1980s police shoot? That's... What the fuck? Like, police in the 1980s could shoot, like, real well because a bunch of people got shot without being armed. But whatever. Playing it is a fucking slog. The movement I feel like is a lot slower than it needs to be. It's a bit plodding in the movement. I felt there was some imprecision in some of the platforming it wanted you to do, particularly the sort of train tunnel sequence where you're climbing with the pickaxe. The number I hit the prompt a couple times to stick the axe in, and it missed, and I fell to a death.
Yep.
I'm like, what the fuck? I fucking pressed that button, you fucker. I thought the combat was pretty solid. It was a little rote, but like, for as long as this thing's meant to be, which is around sort of 10 to 12 hours, that visual style alone is not going to keep me interested. Like, it's written relatively well, at least initially, but it very much falls into the cliche of cyberpunk. Hey, fuck the corporations, but AI-driven stuff. I don't really have the intrigue or the want to keep going or having it propel me forward because what there is to actually do is so slow and sort of meandering's harsh, but I feel like it's just slow and plodding in a way that it doesn't need to be. Have you gone back to it or?
I haven't gone back to it, not because I don't want to, it's because I'm just doing other stuff. Like you've seen, I don't play a lot of anywhere near as much games as you do. So, but I do want to go back to it because the things you've complained about, I don't think are as big an issue for me as they are for you. So, yeah. But I do get some of the. 100% agree with that pickaxe engine was a pain in the ass because it just wouldn't recognise button prompts. Now that could just be bugginess, I don't know, but I do find the setting intriguing. I
Mm.
find the visual of it stunning, as we mentioned.
Oh yeah.
My biggest problem is the combat, as you said, is rote, and that's the thing that doesn't make me go back to it. But everything else about
Yeah.
that does. So yeah.
Oh, did you do the binoculars side quest?
I think I did. There's a bit there where I think you can miss contact with content in that game.
Yes, you absolutely
Um,
can.
so I think I might have got the mission to do it, but never actually did it, and didn't realise I
Mm.
hadn't done it until the chimp
You'd
popped up.
gone forward some.
The chimp popped up saying complete a chapter 2. What? I did. So I just missed a bunch of stuff. So yeah. So
I was very specific about. I reckon that's going to move on if I'm not careful. I'm going to plot around here, and which part is probably part of the problem with why I thought it was so meandering.
yeah.
Because the movement to there's a doctor you go see to get a part, and a dude who wants a new piece for his telescope.
Mm.
And this little girl has binoculars in an arcade.
Mm.
That arcade game is all right though.
Mm.
that was I got pretty good at that. But yeah, the denouement of that little quest line with the telescope was really funny because fuck, that guy's an idiot. But otherwise, yeah.
I think they've now added in chapter select to go back and repeat some of that stuff. I think as a patch. So yeah.
Okay. Yeah, maybe if they do some patching to it, I don't know. But right now, I'm not feeling much of a desire to go back to it just because of how slow I felt things were. And I was getting bored. And that's not something I want to do. I've got some real quick hits. Vehicle number 4. It's an arse game that I play the demo of on Steam. I think it's a very, very small development team. It's incredibly rudimentary in about every other way outside of the fact that the vehicle you drive is somewhat modular. In this image here, you can see the different modules around the vehicle, and you can add elements for perks to it. That's the only hook. I don't know why I bought it in early access because I didn't think the demo was fantastic. So for some dumb fucking reason, I bought it. I'm gonna say, and this is where we actually use the name of the podcast. No, you should not play this game. Moving on. The Spell Brigade. Arse game I played the demo of on stream, another one. But since I thought it was really charming on stream and I really liked the moment to moment, but it falls into the trap of there's just not enough to do. There's a couple of objectives you get as you are going through a run, but there's a very small number initially because more unlock and as you play more of it. And meta upgrades, character unlocks, and everything that adds more to it either is you need a butt ton of gold, which fuck knows when that drops because it's pretty rare that it drops. Or, for example, to add elemental effects to attacks, I had to do a certain amount of fire damage before it unlocked lightning damage. So it didn't surface a lot of that. It's a fucking grind treadmill. And the other issue, default HP is 600 points. Contact damage with an enemy is 118. So I feel like that's a bit overly punitive. No, you should not play that game, particularly if you value your time. Moving on. Gambonanza. It's chess, but Balatro. Moving on. No. I played a bit more of this before we recorded. You need to know chess pretty well. In order to be relatively successful at this. You do get stalemates. If you get a stalemate, it's kind of a life. 3 stalemates and you fail the run. The bosses are pretty savage, and they do have some pretty good writing in them as well. Like there's a Mecha Magnus Carlsen. So I think that's pretty neat. The board crumbles after 5 moves. 10 cumulative moves. So it keeps it snappy, it keeps it moving. There's some interesting gambits, which are the Balatro Jokers, as you perform different chess maneuvers and stuff. But I think, yes, you should play that game. But if you don't know chess very well, or you just don't have the... there's times where I accidentally moved myself plenty of times into getting captured, getting my pieces captured, and it was like, fuck! Anyway. Midnight Billiards. It's pool, but Peglin. Which Peglin was the kind of roguelike Peggle. And that's not just me saying it. That's what the description on the Steam page is as well. It's fucking neat. There's not much else to say about it. You have a pool ball and you shoot it around the table to hit the swords, to do damage to enemies, the flasks to heal. It's fucking great. Yes, you absolutely should play that game. Augment Anthem. These two were a bit of a mongrel getting them on the list, actually. Augment Anthem, search action game that came out last week. Demo. The animation's quite fluid. There's a bunch of frames of animation to it. It's dual stick aiming and shooting.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't like it. No, you shouldn't play this game. I don't think it's very good. I played it for 0.1 hours. I think I played it for like less than 15 minutes. I'm like, fuck this. Shattered Divinities is this one caused the most problem because the executable registers as a goddamn Chinese name. But it's Shattered Divinities in English. It is out on Steam as well. I played the demo. It's mid. Mm-hmm. It's fine. It's decent. There is way more. This year has been just a bombardment of Metroidvania search action games. No, you shouldn't play this game. It's fine, but I'm not going to say it's better than mid. And finally, where is it in my notes? Boomerang Jack. I think I saw this in the current upcoming list, and then I'm like, this looks interesting, I'll play that. What a dumb fucking idea that was. It's a very simplistic dual-stick take on Zelda. I'm trying to find an image that really shows... it doesn't really. It's not bad. You're a pirate with boomerang instead of, a Link with a sword.
Mm-hmm.
It's very Flash in its aesthetic.
Mm-hmm.
It's got a fully voiced intro, though. So that really belies its small audience and relatively small price. There were 13 reviews on Steam and one discussion topic when I played it. I played it for 17 minutes and I don't want to play any more of it. No, you should not play this game. It sort of falls between bad and mid. To say it looks like Flash is maybe a bit harsh. Well, no, it's not a bit. It is harsh. But that's literally how I feel like it looks. I don't think it's great. So some quick fire, rapid fire. Blah, blah, blah. Anyway, that's me.
All right.
Oh, hey, Forza Horizon 6. How's that?
How's that? Yeah. I'm going to try and do something here and see if this works.
Get out of town.
I'm going to replace that with... turn that off.
I was going to say, you're going to get us copyright hit for the podcast. That's never happened before.
Then we're going to need to just zoom out a little bit. So that'll do for the time being. So this is just a video of me playing this game. Because one thing we didn't really talk about under your section was this game looks amazing.
Yeah, it does.
It looks absolutely phenomenal. So it's obviously, as I said, set in Japan. You go through various regions that surround Tokyo. So it's one of those things where they've contracted the entire map map of Japan into a much smaller.
It's not a one-to-one reflection of what Japan is.
What it's like. So,
Block Party. I didn't picture you for a hip hop head.
I'm not. That's the point. I don't. It's saying that means I've played it for 5 minutes more than the other ones, then have them all turned off. So yeah, don't take that as anything other than
Graham's down in the streets. Fuck you talking about? Graham's keeping a gully, keeping a hood.
So yeah, so I'm just going to skip through this stuff. So at the end of, so let's just pause it. If we can pause it. Oh, there we go. Paused it. There's the kind of the map you can see. Like there's a lot more of it to the top of that. Again, you're trying to get horizon points to progress through the story, quote unquote. The other characters in the game are meaningless, like they have in any other one of these games.
Yeah, they're all kind of dipshits.
They're all kind of dipshits and kind of stupid, but I'm not there for that stuff, so that's fine.
No.
You've got your standard stuff, your speed traps, your danger zones, all that's the same things they've had. Nothing's changed in that. But just having a look at this thing when it's in motion.
Even on medium for ray tracing and reflections, it still looks fucking great.
Yeah, and the reflections
still come through really well.
Yeah, like I think this is the game this is the race that I had with Connor. I
Hey,
took,
look, there I am,
yeah,
but it's not me. What
yeah.
the fuck?
So it does that thing too, like as in all the other games. It's
Driver
set
tars.
driver tars, so it basically pretends to be other people. So when you're in races, you're seeing like AI with names above them that have got people in your friends list on them,
Mm.
which is kind of clever. Been doing that for quite a while. That
Yeah,
concept.
you've shown up in a few of my games, and I was like, what? What's going on here?
Yeah. And then every time you complete something like you do you get a smash a board or something, it'll give you sort of a mini leaderboard as to of those how many you've got to the next person sort of thing, and you're in
Yeah.
some sort of list that it's keeping track of. Um, so yeah, I am finding one
I,
thing a bit of a tricky, not tricky, but I'm finding it hard to make the races interesting. If that makes sense.
yeah, that's always been a bit of a thing because it's either
Because
way too fucking easy or it's a pain in the
what?
ass and you can't get anywhere near the front.
Yeah, exactly, and that balance, like you've got novice. I think you've got story. I think might be the lowest level.
Mm.
Novice, average, and there's like two or three levels
Above
above that.
average is next. I
I
know
think
that
above
much.
average, there might be pro and legend or something. I can't remember what they call them now, but
Mm.
and basically all that does is make the the racing harder, but also
Yeah.
you get more credits for it when you do complete a
No,
race.
and it's not the greater credit distribution isn't that high either because
Yeah, I mean,
like I think the difference between average and above average is like maybe 10%.
yeah, look, it's not a massive man anyway, and you're going to get so many credits in this game that's completely meaningless.
Yeah, it is.
In reality, because every time you basically do a skill chain, like there's a skill chain building now with that wreckage on the screen. That's
Mm.
credits. Like that's what you're getting out of that. So it's not actually hard to get credits.
No.
So I'm just trying to find a balance. There's one of the mascots you run over. Um, so I'm trying to get the balance right of making the racing not easy, but not completely impossible that you can never progress to the horizon stuff. So
I kind of don't bother at this point anymore because for me, it's just like I said, it's comfort food. It's
yeah,
driving around and fucking around that
oh,
is what I'm
this
there
is
for.
one of the treasure cards they've got in
Mm.
it. So I've now got it to the point where I've got it on novice for easy, but I've turned off the rewind, and that seems to be decent sort
Yeah.
of balance. Um, but once you progress all through this, you then get up to what's known as the big showcase event, and that in the very first one of these is up against basically this mech, and the way this is fucking amazing when this thing kicks in.
It is, and the end of it is fucking
Yeah,
hilarious.
exactly.
I
I
don't
was
want to say what the end
uh,
is because I
uh,
think that spoils it. But
I'll stop it before it gets to there in this one. But so basically, you're against this big giant mech, which has got something to do with some um,
I think it's an
anime.
in-universe anime. I don't think
Anim,
it's an actual anime.
yeah, might be. I'm not too sure. So basically, you race against this thing, and as you can see, it's in it. You see it sort of jumping up in there,
There you go. Yeah, jump in the water.
jump in the water. So it like these showcase events. I think there's not many of them in this one. I think from what I
No,
can, there might be three maybe, based
they
on the
intersperse them between the big dumb showcases like this and what's called Horizon Rush.
rushes. Yeah, are they new? I think they're new.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, I think they're
At the
new.
very least, the concept is new. I
Yeah,
don't know if the name is. I think Horizon
yeah.
Rush used to be the cross country sort of events in life,
Yeah. I know what you mean. Yeah,
but
okay.
the parkour
Yeah,
style.
yeah.
Like that first Rush event I was really bummed out because in the car list initially it didn't have the RS200, which is the car you get from doing that first Rush event.
Mm.
But that was really interesting and a really fun, different challenge. And I just did the second one of those up in the snow.
Okay. Yep. I'm just going to stop that before it gets to the end. So even like
Yeah.
you drive.
How much of the delivery stuff have you done?
Yeah, so that's another thing that I think is definitely new. Is I've done one of those you drive a little delivery van, and basically pick up orders from a restaurant and then go and deliver them to several places and come back. So
The truck is shit, but the little van's neat to drive.
yeah. So it's got enough things to do in it that you don't need to stick to the races. You can just do like as I said, like you bring up the map here. you've got the same
There is a metric fuck ton.
wheel spin you can do. Um, uh, where is the map again that I had? Ooh, so, that's what I was looking for. Was one of those screens that gives you what you can do next.
Yeah, that's real. That's a neat little addition.
Yeah, I think that might be new. I'm not too sure.
It is new.
So basically, you've got Anna, which is the automated something going out. I can't remember what
That's
it
not new.
No, it's been around for ages, but she's basically a person that tells you what
AI assistant.
Yeah, sort of an AI assistant thing. Oh, that's enough. Just
I tried just while you're getting that in position. I tried the Eliminator this morning, on Sunday morning. Sorry, the Battle Royale, and of the 4 cars I found, nothing was higher than level 3.
I have no idea what that thing is, so that doesn't mean. Sorry,
They go on a 10 level scale, and all the really good cars are up level 9, 10. I'm like, fuck.
Yeah. So basically, at the end of most events that you're completing, you get this thing presented to you, which basically gives you a list of things you can do. The minute you select one of these options, it will basically
set the waypoint,
set the
navigation,
set the navigation to that point. And the ones that are on the left there are actually, in this particular screenshot we're looking at here, is that is one of the Horizon Festival events. So it's progressing you up through the chain or getting through all the various wristbands and stuff. But yeah, I mean, it's like, to say it's one of those again is probably a bit
reductive,
but it is fair at some level. But they've added enough to it. I think it's got enough variation in it. But always, as you and I have, there you go, road discovery. The driving in this has always been top notch.
Yeah.
It's always been the thing about this game. So you can just go and drive for hours on end and just go, I'm just going to go up to here. No fucking reason I'm going up there for. I'm just going to go up there. And if I go along and find half a dozen boards on the way, I'm going to go out of my way to find them and come back. And so it's just got an awful lot of stuff going for it that I think is really, really neat. It is really a neat game to
the first season launched with the launch of the game. And that's if you played any of the seasonal shit from 5, it is literally all that shit again.
Yeah.
Obviously set in a different environment because you're in Japan.
Yeah.
And one of the first events is you're driving the Mazda Furai, which is an '08 concept or hypercar. That's the Furai is new. The seasonal stuff is not. So Friday night after I had dinner after the stream, I was on a Discord call with a mate of mine, just chatting shit, doing all the seasonal stuff. And that's a nice weekly sort of routine with these games. When the seasonal stuff drops, okay, 2 hours or so, knock all the seasonal shit off. Yeah, get me some super wheel spins, get me some cars, get me some points, and things of that nature.
Yeah, but like that's the thing. You could dick in for an hour or so, play for
or dick around in.
Yeah, dick around and just do absolutely nothing, progress nothing, so to speak, but still do stuff. So yeah, it's. I mean, as I said, like it's one of those games where you could put on other stuff on a second screen and play that or podcast or whatever. So yeah.
Music on Spotify. That is better than the music on the radio stations.
Yeah, exactly. Call of the Elder Gods. I played the demo of this a couple of weeks back. Game is now out.
Yes.
So I've basically, because I'd sort of essentially forgotten how that game started, I started from scratch. And I'm basically back up to where I was before. How
are you finding it? Because the reviews aren't as positive of Call of the Sea.
I've hardly played enough to give an answer on that one. So. But I'm enjoying it so far. That's all I can say, really. So again, Aloe Blaster Dawn. I played the demo of this a couple of weeks back as well. So back into that. Not sort of cleared hot. Now this was an interesting one that I found. Not found. It's been out in early access since late last year. May come out this year full release at some point. Not too sure. It is a twin stick shooter. That you control a helicopter.
There's been a few of these.
This screenshot is quite old, not quite correct.
Most of the IGTV screenshots end up being fairly old or fairly.
Yeah, I've got to do your own stuff. But I mean, it's basically like it's a you're you're driving, you're flying the helicopter around, and you're doing stuff. You can pick up missile like ammo dumps and crap like that. You can also pick up cars and kind of throw them around the screen and stuff. So because you can basically let go of the button and just fly them across the screen.
Yeah.
You can also get down real low with your blades and actually
cut people
over with the blades.
Okay, that you can't do in the other helicopter game I played.
Yeah. So
I've got this in early access, but I haven't touched it yet.
Yeah, so it's interesting. It's fully voice acted. The story stuff is actually relatively okay, but kind of rote bit at some level. But yeah, it's something I wouldn't be going back to anytime soon until they've got a bit more content stuff in it. But it's kind of neat. It's not
that publisher's an intriguing one.
Oh yeah, the Micro. Yeah, so this
Microprose is back.
Like they were in the 90s and stuff with mainly racing games, I think, from memory. From
Civilization and shit like that.
Yeah, so they've been around for a long time, but yeah.
I think it's like an Apogee situation where it's just someone's bought the name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the last one is something that you'd probably played.
Fucking good.
Keep on Mining Worlds. I started playing that, I think, after the last podcast that we had, and I thought, oh, I'm going to dump into this, and then
you played it. You had maybe 2 hours or so last time we spoke.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah,
and you did exactly what I did, and basically in the next 2 days, you fucking blitzed the rest of it.
Play through the rest of it.
It's so fucking good to do that.
It's so good. So I would, when we get to Game of the Year, I think this will be up in Game of the Year in some category, I suspect. To see this,
make categories to make it work.
Yeah, we'll figure something out. But to give like when you finish the game, you end up unlocking the world core, which is this thing, and then all your stuff can lead into upgrading the world core.
Yep.
And then you end up things like setting records across the board because you've got double this and double gems and all this other stuff turned on. But when this game is actually in motion, in fact, I'm going to try and do the same thing. Just vamp for a bit, mate. Because I'm going to try and do the same thing.
It's so good, though, because this is what we said last time. It keeps the mining sessions short enough, and it has just enough on the external, on the outside, that like doing the mining sessions, coming out, doing your upgrades, going back in, it's really, really easy for fucking time to just melt away.
Completely disappear.
And the numbers keep getting bigger.
Yeah, 100% right. I mean,
it's
just so quick to get into the next.
The one thing that bothers me, you can't just set it and leave it running.
Yeah, correct. That's the only thing.
With Tower Wizard, you can do that, which I did multiple times. But not with that because it's too much. It's too active. So idle game, no. Incremental game, yes. But yeah, man, I fucking love that game. I don't know if it's going to actually. I don't know if it's actually going to be able to track. Yeah.
So this is what the game is like when it's in
fucking
motion.
Let's go.
It just goes.
That circle of yours is quite small compared to mine.
It's one of the ones that gets bigger over time. So it's not particularly cropped well, this one, but so essentially you're just this is the platform. That's the environment you're on. You're just having that's the skill tree. It's bloody enormous.
Yep.
This was the end of it. The pickaxe you can upgrade to the nth degree. Oh, actually, I just unlocked the last one. You get these rock cars that you can do. So it's just when you start having this thing goes off, it's just bonkers, and it's to the point where with all these things, all these explosions, they're all buffs and stuff and skills that are just activated. There are things where like you literally can't see underneath it. I don't know where the fuck my cursor is. It's in there somewhere. I'm just going to move it around because I know what I need to do that. But yeah, it is just a bonkers game in just how easy it is.
It hits that lizard brain, that lizard part of your brain where it's just like, again, we keep like saying it in hushed tones and ASMR style, just the numbers keep going up, but that's literally most of the appeal.
Yeah.
and just the pure sense of satisfaction when shit is popping the fuck off like it is here.
Yeah.
And it just, then you get this.
So it start with
And you're mining
37,
in
37. All these buffs are turned on by default.
all the items you bought in the store.
All the items you bought in the store, but there's also things where you can get skills and upgrades that basically make these just come on like they have like
skills
7
attached to different pickups, upgrades,
pickups
and shit
and
like
stuff
that.
like that. So
and then eventually you're mining in Scrooge McDuck's money bin.
Yeah, and then this just goes like this.
Yep.
There were things that add time back onto it. You see, went up there a couple of seconds ago. Now, at this point, I don't know what the hell's underneath half this. I'm just going.
You don't fucking need to. You just move the mouse and shit blows up and you get rocks.
You get rocks. There's multipliers and all sorts of things you can pick up as well.
Fucking hey.
It's just, but there's just like it's really probably, even though it's a 35-second start point, it's probably really taken 45 to finish.
Up to a minute maybe.
Once it's all actually finished off, and then go right. I need to do that again. And keep mining, rinse and repeat, basically. So it's and as you said earlier, like the process to just go to the next one of the next
you're just like, that was fucking sick. I want to do it again and get more.
Exactly.
I want more gems.
So yeah, it's just so easy to go into the next run that, as you say, the time just completely just disappears, and you go, it's
spirit fingers away.
Yeah, it's just incredible game. So yeah, keep on mind.
In a way that it almost shouldn't be.
Yeah, it really, like the concept is so simple. Yeah. You're not actually doing that much.
The first one's actually pretty good as well.
Yeah. But you're not actually doing much in the run. You're just literally moving. You're not clicking it, so you're just moving it around. So
the first one, Worlds is much more of a streamlining of keep on mining. The first keep on mining is a bit more long-winded, for lack of a better term. It's a bit more drawn out for each environment, whereas it condenses everything that's good about that incrementalization, that watching the numbers go up, that it just ends up being a much more appealing prospect in a way that I got all the achievements much like you did in this, where I played like maybe an hour or two of the original keep on mining. Because it proved the concept. Yep, it was neat, but sure. And then this was just like, let's fucking go. I want everything. I want it all. I have all the money, and you do not.
But that is my game is for 3 weeks, 4 weeks. How long it's been?
No, 2 weeks. I think.
No,
because there was Mother's Day as well.
Mother's Day. I think it's been at least 3 weeks.
Yeah, right. Maybe, and I did a stream where I looked at some games and a really confusing turn-based volleyball game. Anyway.
So, I will just moment, please.
I've already got it up if you want it.
That's all right. I won't be too long.
Works for me. God damn it. If it wasn't for the fact I'm not going to get any achievements, I would restart my save and do it all over again. Just watching the shit. Just bust off.
Games of June. Actually, one game
These
of
aren't
May.
The games of June. Oh, yeah, there's 2 in.
One little game in May to talk about is 007 First Light. I know you're not interested in this one. I'm interested to see what this game is like. I may not play it, but I'm curious how it's going to go.
I'm curious to see how it lands, but I've got no interest in playing it.
Yeah, I'm curious about that one, but it's
there is one other game that's coming out. I didn't add it to this. I should have, actually. Yacht Club Games, but in between last episode and this one, announced the new release date for Mina the Hollower, which is their follow-up to Shovel Knight. That thing looks fucking sweet. Although people on the internet are stupid and going, how many copies does they have to sell for them to not go bankrupt? Like, how many copies did Shovel Knight fucking sell? They don't have to do anything again for the rest of their lives. Okay. June is a much thinner slate.
You could say that. Yes, it is. I think we've got 4 games on this list. But yeah,
I've got at least probably 10 or 12 smaller indie games on the wish list that I could have added, but they're just much more uncertain properties, I guess, that I'm not so sure of whether they'll land or not. June is also Key 3.
Yeah, correct. True.
So there will be announcements. There might be a couple of shadow drops.
Mm-hmm.
And there'll be a bunch of announcement streams happening. Sony's announced theirs. Microsoft already got out and announced theirs. There'll be the Summer Games Fest. There'll be a bunch of shit. But yeah, in the old. Wait, why am I talking? Anyway,
this is your list.
NBA The Run.
NBA. Now, this is NBA Jam style thing or not? There's no screenshots.
I think it's kind of an NBA Jam / NBA Street.
Okay, yep.
I think they're getting back to that arcade-style basketball game. The key art is borderline concerning in some ways. Like, okay, Giannis, sure. Luka Doncic, sure. Anthony Edwards, sure. Steph Curry, absolutely. LaMelo Ball, fuck out of here. Cooper Flag, that dude's only played one season. What the fuck? But yeah, the preview coverage has been relatively optimistic, but given the NBA Jam and NBA Jam on Fire edition that came out by EA, they were pretty good. But I think this one's leaning towards more the Street series, which was a bit more combo tricks based.
Yeah. Okay.
That Volume 2 of Street was really fun, but it lacked the simplicity of Jam. So, this could be fucking incredible, or this could be fucking garbage.
Yeah, Detective Ina. I think it's Ina. I'm not sure if it's Ina or Ina. Duke. Yeah, just a attraction to me is the character art. So, I think it's going to be very similar to a game from a couple of years called. God, what was it called? I think it's called Blacktail. Come on, it's called something.
There
like
was
that.
a game called Blacktail, but I wouldn't have said it's similar to this. But I don't know.
There was. I can't remember. Anyway, so yeah, I'm just intrigued because I think the art style looks kind of neat.
It does look neat.
I
would also say there's a bit of Duck Detective to this.
A little bit. That's why it's actually that was on what was
Although
not like the art style is completely different, but
maybe not in Kiev.
But in terms of, I think the nature of the you're playing a detective, obviously. So I think
very neat blood handwriting.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm curious about that one more than anything. So.
Starseeker Astroneer Expeditions is a spin-off of Astroneer. I don't fully know what to expect out of this. How, quote-unquote, Astroneer they're going to go, how survival they're going to go, if it's a bit more action-adventure oriented. I very much like the art style of Astroneer. The playing of it was neat enough, but it is also like Astroneer, much like a Minecraft, much like a Subnautica, those survival games where you're building and developing power systems and all that sort of stuff. At a point for me, get borderline too complicated where I'm just like, and my head blows up. But that could hopefully be a really neat spin-off of Astroneer. And Astroneer is fucking popular. And last one, 4PGP. This already came out on Switch earlier this year, but it's getting its Steam and PlayStation 5 release in June. It's a 90s looking Formula One game. There's been a couple of these. Most of them have been at least of decent to very entertaining quality. Switch version reviews were quite positive. Hopefully the single player is just as positive, but we'll find out later this month. And that's June.
That's June. Yeah, so fairly light compared to most months.
Like I said, there's a bunch of indie games I could have chucked on there, but I didn't. And maybe there'll be more coming out of by the end of the month. What with Key 3 and all. But for now, fuck, I've got a bunch of games to catch up on. Holy fucking shit. Oh.
Alrighty. I think it's time for this.
Ooh.
Alright, we have the YouTube channel where you will find this video and others.
If you're watching this video on the YouTube channel, then you've definitely found it.
You found the right place. You're over on twitch.tv/enemy starship.
That's the tidiest and cleanest you've ever got that out. That was good work.
You will be streaming most Friday nights, most Saturday nights, I'm guessing.
Pretty much, unless either I'm sick or other
Other
real life
stuff,
shit gets in the way.
real stuff
I
gets in the
might be a
way.
smidge late on Friday. I got an appointment. I was thinking about streaming after we finish recording today, but I might not now. See how we go.
But yeah, give him a follow and you'll get some sort of notification that he's on his way to streaming.
So doing silliness.
Doing stuff.
On the way to tomfoolery.
But until the next one of these, which will, all things being equal, be in a fortnight, I have no idea what we're going to do next weekend. We've got to do some planning about not key 3 stuff, so we've got to have a chat about that at some point.
I was gonna mention that at some point, but I was gonna wait till we finish recording.
Figure that stuff out. So yeah, that'll do for now. Thanks everyone for everyone. Thanks for watching and listening, and we'll see you in the next one, whatever that may be. Till then, goodbye.
Bye.